Alright guys, what's up? It's your boy Swift, back at it again. Alright, so this is about the Mortal Kombat movie itself. Now, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. Could it have been better? Absolutely. It could have been 10 times better. There was a lot of holes and inconsistencies that I did not enjoy about the movie. So let's get into it. Alright, so in terms of like characters and stuff like that, um, I didn't like the character development. Um, Second thing is like anyone that was into the Mortal Kombat movie in 1995. Like for instance, my fiance, like she loves the Mortal Kombat movie from 1995. Like who doesn't? Like that's at the time that was a dope behind movie, right? It just didn't age well, so it looks kind of crappy now. But people love that movie, and they gravitate to those characters. Those were like iconic characters at the time, Kara Tagawa, Christopher Lambert, like everybody knows those guys, right? So I still had to explain to her about the characters in the movie because someone like that, if you put yourself in this, someone like that watch going into this movie, they're not gonna know who those characters are. You know what I'm saying? So I had to explain to her who certain characters were. Like she was like, "Oh, who's that with the teeth?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Melina." Da 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 da. "Oh, who's that guy with the hook swords?" "Oh, that's Cabal." Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like I didn't like that at all. Actually, I think that was a pretty a bad route to take in terms of like getting an audience to watch your movie because you put in all these characters and you didn't develop them at all, or not even a form of a backstory or a reference or anything like that. Um, the Melina thing, I didn't understand at all. Actually, they should have had Katana in the movie simply because Melina was there. Melina only exists because she's a clone of Katana. Like it just like stuff like that really like bothered me a bit because it was really inconsistent. You know. Um, Other means of character development, I did not like how they. I don't know. In terms of like character development, I'll say like the Kung Lao thing. It was a perfect opportunity. They missed a perfect opportunity to actually go into detail. Again, this is for someone who hasn't, just watched the Mortal Kombat from '95, right? Um, and they were showing all the portraits and stuff like that. They should have saved the Great Kung Lao portrait for the part where Kung Lao appeared, and he's like, Kano's like, "Who are you?" "I am Kung Lao, descendant of the Great Kung Lao," right? And then instead of Kano saying some slick shit, they should have said, "Well, who's that?" If you want to build up this tournament, they missed the opportunity to talk about that moment. Then Kung Lao will say, blah blah blah. The Great Kung Lao was was one of the original champions that defeated Goro like thousands of years ago. You know the whole story, right? That was a perfect opportunity, and they showed like the painting of the Great Kung Lao and shit like that. Like that would have been a perfect opportunity to place that backstory right there. So now the audience will know, like, okay, this great tournament, these guys been winning so much, and then it wasn't until the Great Kung Lao to stop them from taking over Earthrealm, and he's the descendant, the heir apparent. Like that would have been a perfect drop right there to place that there at that moment in the movie, but they missed that. Um, what else? Um, I didn't like how Raiden looked in terms of capturing the essence of the character. I mean, I get where they were going with, but at the same time, like they didn't do him any justice in terms of character, like aesthetics, and in terms of complete visual representation of the character. Because when you think of Raiden, right, you think of this stoic, graceful, imposing figure, right? Like that teacher figure, the master. They didn't convey that at all, and I think that was a missed opportunity. He was very short. He was very small compared to the rest of the cast. They didn't even attempt to do any like camera tricks or angles and stuff like that to make him look taller and stuff. like they do in like Tom Cruise's movie. They make him taller, like Rocky. They make Stallone look taller when he's really not tall at all. But they make him, you know, they do that with the camera. It's called camera tricks and stuff like that. Manipulating the angle and stuff to convey like stature, you know, especially for certain figures, right, for the story. But they didn't. They deviated from that for some reason. I don't know why, but they felt to put a short rating in the movie. I wasn't a fan of that. Because even in the like older games and older stuff, because we played the games back then, we didn't have any audio dialogue. We used to read the endings and stuff like that, and you could get from that Raiden was this like god, this imposing yet graceful stoic figure. You know what I'm saying? Like they missed on that. I think they should have got a better actor or someone that was taller than the rest of the cast, or they should have just did some camera play to make him taller. What else here? Cole Young. Cole, I got mixed feelings about Cole, but it's not that it's Cole's fault. I would say it's more on the direction of the movie. So the movie could have been 10 times better if they tweaked his story a bit. They should have tweaked the story just a bit here. So hear me out. So let me lay the groundworkings here. All right. He never sent. Raiden never told him about Hanzo. Raiden never tells him about Hanzo. So just pretend that part never happened, where he's talking to him about Hanzo and shit like that, right? And let's say he didn't tell him to go home. Raiden never sent him home. Right? Boom. Okay. Shang Tsung comes. He's fighting them, blah, 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 right? That scene happens. Cole is still there. Okay. While all the champions are fighting, Raiden is trying to get everyone out of there, right? Like he was trying to do towards the end after he took Kung Lao So. He put down the lightning bolt so everybody could get ghosts and get out of there. He tries to get Cole to safety, but he gets Cole. Instead of Kung Lao Soul he snatches Cole Young Soul. Your soul is mine. He grabs Cole, right? Sucking the life out of that dude, right? And then you see like the drop of the green drop, like how they did Kung Lao Soul, and it went to Shang Tsung's mouth. Instead of that happening with Cole Soul, Raiden intervenes and like strikes like that would have been a perfect moment to like show the power of Raiden. Raiden should have did so. You know when Thor came to Wakanda with Stormbreaker, he's like, "Bring me Thanos," and he like just fucking destroys everything when he lays the hammer down, dude. They should have did something like that with Raiden. Like he should have went into the Avatar state and just like unleashed holy hell on Shang Tsung. Like no, and he like stops him, boom, and then you see Shang Tsung. He stands up like kind of hobble, and you see like electricity going through him. And he's like, "This isn't the last time you're gonna see us, Raiden." Da 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 da. But they should have did something like that. But instead of the soul, when Raiden did that, the soul never enters. The drop never enters Shang Tsung's mouth. It lingers, right? So while that's happening, Hanzo is calling to Cole Young's soul that's lingering out there, right? And he calls it to the nether realm, and then that's when Hanzo tells him about like everything, tells him everything. You know, Cole's like, "Who are you?" "I'm Hanzo Hisashi." Da 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 da. This like many years ago, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And then he would have built that character, developed that would have been amazing. And then he tells him everything. They go through everything. And then at the end of the movie, he appears with towards the end of the movie when Sub-Zero grabs like his family, and then they both feel it because that's their blood, right? That's their family. And then he's like, "We need to go." And then that's when they appear at the end of the movie. Like that would have been dope. Like that would have been so dope. And that was like a missed opportunity right there for character development. Like even when like Cole Young dies, like the family, like the wife, his girl, like when he passes, when the soul is sucked out of him, like she feels it like while the girl is there with her, and then like she does like this, like they're talking about something, and the mom just like pauses for a second. She's like, Mom, are you okay? No, no, it's nothing. Come on, we gotta get packed or whatever. Cause they were like trying to pack up and stuff like that. Because they felt Cole, she felt Cole Young pass away. Like that would have been dope. And then that shit happened in another one with Cole and Hanzo. It would have been clean. It was set up perfectly, but they just didn't. They didn't take that route. I think if they would develop his story a little better in terms of that route, it would have made the movie way better, in my opinion. And he would have been well received from that point, right? What else? The Arcanas. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I think that's a whole. They probably made a whole loophole for themselves because if they're gonna make 2 or 3 more movies about this, that needs to be more explained because right now it doesn't make sense. In terms of like characters getting their power, like with Kano, I don't understand how he got his power without the metallic shit on his face, right? It's supposed to be through cybernetic enhancements. That's a whole nother story there. I'm gonna get back to that. The other thing I want to get to is the other characters as well, like Kano. Like they should have had normal Cabal fight Kano, not Kano, fight Liu Kang. They should have had normal Cabal fight Liu Kang, and then when Liu Kang set this motherfucker on fire, he comes back as the Kang. That's the Cabal we know. You know what I'm saying? That would have been cooler. That would have been way better. They should have just scrapped that whole dialect of Cabal talking to Kano through the force field, because we don't need to set that up. You don't need to set it up on both sides of the fence. When I say both sides of the fence, I mean from people who watched the Mortal Kombat from '95 to the diehards like we are, like they play the games stuff like both sides of the fence know Kano's a treacherous motherfucker, right? So there's no need for you to set that up by means of that, right? So they could have did something else for Kano to screw the team over, cause it's Kano. Everybody know Kano gonna screw him over eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have did something different, cause that way you could have set up Cabal being normal Cabal, getting his ass deep fried by Liu Kang. All right, on some Popeye's chicken sandwich shit, right? So that could have been a thing there, and then he comes back as the Cabal we know. You know, extra burnt, extra not extra burnt, but extra crispy, flame broiled Cabal, right? So that could have been a thing. What else here? Now going back to the Kano and Sonya thing, the reason why I paused there because I don't understand I don't know what they're gonna do in terms of the next movie, because if he comes back with the metal eye because she juked him in the eye with the gnome, I'm pretty sure he didn't die from that. This is Kano, like yeah, he got stabbed in the eye, big whoop, right? So he comes back with the metal eye patch. Will he still have the eye laser? That's the thing. Now that I don't know. Now they could still give it to him with like Red Dragon technology, but you already set the precedence of him getting the Arcana based off getting the laser based off the Arcana. So what his Arcana should have been was something else, like knife throwing accuracy, or he gets the Kano ball. You know, shit like that. That should have been his Arcana, and then when he dies, but then that's another plot hole too, because in order for you to transfer the dragon tattoo, one has to die. So I don't know if Kano's gonna come back. Now in terms of resurrection, Monster Reborn type shit. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Shang Tsung towards the end of the movie, after they beat Sub-Zero, he comes, right? You guys remember that part, right? When he says, "You think you've won because you killed all my champions, all my warriors. Just know that just know that death is just another portal." Boom. He already set in the precedence that even though these characters are dead, there's a possibility of them coming back. You see what I'm saying? So they already setting that up there. So I hope they didn't like back themselves in the corner with this Arcana thing, because now it's gonna start getting interesting and see what they're gonna do in the next movie, because you just cornered yourself. Because the only way these characters get power, unless they kill someone that doesn't have that has one, so they can get unlock theirs, like they did with Sonya. So I don't know if Kano will be back. I really enjoyed Kano though. He was a damn good character. I think that the story should have ended like they should have did like an end credits scene. You know how Marvel dropped the end credits, right? And then they showed a little like 10, 15-second little clip or whatever. They should have showed Kano still alive. He's like walking, holding his eye, and he's holding the medallion in one hand. They bring the camera down, and it shows the medallion, and it's glowing. That would have been a cool Easter egg to put Quan Chi in the next movie. And then they go to another scene where Sub-Zero's being turned into a new Cybot, and then like you see like a shadow. I don't know like how they would do it with Quan Chi, or do the laugh, or have him like say like his little chant. Give me the body, like some shit like that, like Quan Chi type shit. And then the movie cuts off. Like that would have set the perfect sequel up. That would have set that up perfectly. Because I don't know, I just want to see what they'll do with the next movie. Now in terms of like, I heard people talk about like Liu Kang and how they had why they got Liu Kang looking like a second-rate Shaolin next to Kung Lao. Kung Lao, he blah blah blah. Like it's supposed to be Liu Kang, Liu Kang, Liu Kang. I see what they did there. That's how the original story is supposed to be. Like most of the majority of people that are saying that are used to this game here. They've been accustomed to seeing that bull crap in this game, and the rest fucked up the story. In reality, is in the original story in the timeline, Kung Lao, he's the chosen one. He's the heir apparent. He, by law of nature, he is the second coming of the Great One. He's supposed to be the one, like Jet Li. You feel me? But Kung Lao doesn't want that. Kung Lao just want to chill. He's been training all his life. He mastered all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they forced him to do it because of his bloodline. He's supposed to do that. Lao just want to chill, man. Liu Kang is the up-and-coming young prodigy with untapped potential. That's why they had Liu Kang so young, so youthful, so vibrant with life. And Kung Lao was so mature and yet cocky at the same time. Which is, I thought they did a pretty good job with that. But that pretty much explains that. So, if you hear someone talking about, oh, why they got Kung Lao more mature than, because that's how the original story. That's how you know when someone doesn't know about Mortal Kombat and is used to this new SJW crap they got out now. They got Kung Lao like a chump. They think Kung Lao is a bum because of this game. When actually, like, Kung Lao was the shit. Like, Kung Lao was that dude, bro. But that's here or there. But tell me what you guys think about the movie, man. In my opinion, I think it was okay. I'm not gonna call it trash, because I did enjoy some things about the movie. I was happy to see my boy Lao on screen, man. That was like so hype to me. I didn't like how they killed him off. But I have a feeling they're gonna bring him back as a Revenant. I don't know what like this joy of bringing a character back as a zombie, especially like Kung Lao. They love bringing him back as a Revenant. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't like him as a Revenant. But if they do that, that's cool, I guess. Especially what Shang Tsung said at the end of the movie, like I told you guys. Like, it's a possibility these characters are coming back. Right? But tell me what you guys think, man. I'm out.